Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we peel back the layers of corporate filings to find the juicy bits. Today, we're diving into a report that might just have some surprising legal battles brewing behind the scenes. You know, sometimes a company is really fighting a tough fight in court, and that is exactly what we're seeing here. This isn't about a company celebrating a huge financial win, but it is about a company defending its ground and what it means for its future. So, the date of this report is the 17th of February 2026. This is for Arbutus Biopharma Corporation, and it is a Form 8K. Think of an 8K as a current report that companies file when something significant happens that investors should know about right away, not waiting for their regular quarterly or annual reports. Arbutus Biopharma Corporation is the company we're looking at. They are incorporated in British Columbia, Canada. Now, what do they actually do? Well, they have common shares, and if you own these, you own a piece of the company. These shares are traded on the Nasdaq Stock Market LLC under the ticker symbol ABUS, that is ABUS. The really interesting part of this filing falls under other events. It is not about their everyday business operations, but something more dramatic. It talks about a legal battle. On the 17th of February 2026, a US District Court in Delaware made a decision. This decision is in a lawsuit that Arbutus Biopharma Corporation and their licensee, Genevant Sciences, brought against Moderna Inc. and one of its affiliates, Moderna. You'll probably know them as the company that makes one of the COVID-19 vaccines. Arbutus and Genevant are suing Moderna for allegedly infringing on several of their patents. These patents relate to the way Moderna makes and sells its COVID-19 vaccine. RNA-1273. Essentially, they are claiming Moderna used their patented technology without permission, and they are seeking money for that, which is called damages. What happened on the 17th of February was that the court issued a memorandum and order. This order dealt with two key things: motions for summary judgment and motions to exclude expert testimony. A motion for summary judgment is when one side asks the judge to decide the case in their favor without a full trial, arguing that the facts are so clear that no trial is needed. Motions to exclude expert testimony means one side is trying to prevent the other side from using certain expert witnesses, likely because they think the expert's opinions are not credible or relevant. So this court order is a big step in the legal process. It means the judge has reviewed a lot of the evidence and arguments and made some rulings that could significantly impact the direction and outcome of the lawsuit. The filing doesn't tell us the details of the ruling, but it heavily implies that a copy of this court order is being filed as an exhibit. And that brings us to the exhibits. The most important one here is Exhibit 99.1, which is the actual US District Court for the District of Delaware Memorandum and Order, dated the 17th of February 2026. We can assume this is where all the nitty-gritty details of the court's decision are laid out. Then there is Exhibit 104. This is a standard item for these filings called a cover page interactive data file. It is basically a machine-readable version of the first page of the report, which helps regulators and data providers process the information more easily. Now, let's talk about what this means. Arbutus Biopharma is in a serious legal fight with a giant like Moderna. The outcome of this lawsuit could be huge for Arbutus. If they win, they could get a significant amount of money which could fund their research and development for years. If they lose, well, it could be a major setback, especially if they have poured a lot of resources into this legal battle. We haven't seen any direct financial numbers in this filing like revenue or profit, because this report is focused on a specific event, the court's ruling, but the market will be watching closely how this legal saga unfolds. Think of it this way: Arbutus is trying to get a piece of the pie from a very successful product, the Moderna COVID vaccine. This is a classic case of intellectual property rights being tested. The company is betting on its patents being strong enough to hold up in court. The fact that they secured a patent itself means the government has reviewed it and found it to be novel and non-obvious. But that does not mean it will survive every legal challenge. A key thing to remember with these lawsuits, especially involving major pharmaceutical companies and blockbuster drugs, is that they can drag on for years. The rulings on summary judgment and expert testimony are important milestones, but they are not necessarily the end of the road. There could be appeals, further legal proceedings, or even a settlement looking beyond this lawsuit. Arbutus Biopharma is a company focused on developing therapies for infectious diseases, particularly hepatitis C. Their success in this patent dispute could be crucial for their financial health and their ability to bring other drugs to market. So, what is my take on this? This filing is less about financial performance and more about a critical legal gamble. Arbutus is essentially betting its future on winning this patent case against Moderna. It is a high-stakes game. The strengths for Arbutus lie in their intellectual property and their persistence in defending it. However, the weakness is the sheer power and resources of a company like Moderna, and the inherent uncertainty of any legal battle. The biggest risk is clearly losing the lawsuit, which would not only mean no financial payout but also potentially significant legal costs. Conversely, a win, or even a favourable settlement, could be transformative for the company. We will definitely need to keep an eye on future filings to see how this litigation progresses and what impact it has on Arbutus Biopharma's financial statements and strategic direction. Alright, that is our deep dive into Arbutus Biopharma's latest report. What are your thoughts on this legal battle and what it could mean for the company? Let us know in the comments below. If you found this breakdown helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe for more corporate insights. And don't forget to join our Discord community, the link is in the description. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.